Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. We're going to do a story and it's talking about how you have 25 days left till this event happens. And to be honest with you, we've seen things like this before happen where, warnings come out. We only have so much. And in this case, I'll give you the title of the story. We're going to talk about it afterwards. Forget oil. The real crisis is diesel inventories. The US has just 25 days left. Now, with that being said, we've seen things like this before where we have X amount of supply left and then all of a sudden the spigot's opened up miraculously, where there's like an intense pressure put on the economy and then all of a sudden, a bunch of fear moves in and then it, yeah, just miraculously is provided, right? We know that we're getting really close to November to the elections, and we know there's a lot of pressure on both sides. And these are games, it just really ticks me off. But these are games, but some of these things turn into reality. And so I wanted to go over this story. I think it's a big deal, and it sounds funny, but if you gotta, it's as simple as if this happens, all you've got to do is go fill up your diesel vehicle, put a 5-gallon jerry can aside, something as simple as that. But let's just read the story and we'll go into it and we'll talk about it afterwards. It says, for all the drama surrounding Biden's last strategic petroleum reserve fiasco and his admin's ridiculous idea to stimulate U.S. energy producers to pump more oil because you see Biden promises to buy oil at some unknown point in the future. The real crisis is not oil or gas, but it's diesel. The problem is that we repeatedly warned over the summer, even as others were transfixed by the moves in the gas. Now, it says right here, the crisis gripping the U.S. diesel market is getting out of hand as demand is surging while supplies remain at the lowest seasonal level for this time of year ever, according to government data released on Wednesday. Now, guys, I'm going to link this story below so you can take a look at yourself because there's some interesting infographics here. According to the EIA, the U.S. now has just 25 days left of diesel supply, the lowest since 2008. Isn't that a very interesting year? Very interesting. Going into, and wasn't 2008 an election year? Wasn't it? No. It was the year before? Remind me, guys, how did that work out? I always forget these election years. It sounds funny. They all blend together. Everything blends together after time when it comes to politics. Economics with me, it's like I can figure that stuff out real quick. But for some reason, politics, it always seems like there's a game being played over and over and over again. But 2008, the last financial crisis, is when we saw diesel levels this low. It says, and while inventories are at a record low, the 4-week rolling average of distillates supplied, a proxy for demand, rose to its highest seasonal level since 2007. In short, record low supply meet record high demand. What comes next is well ugly. It says the shortage of the fuel used for heating and trucking and, generally speaking, to keep commerce and freight running has become a key worry for the Biden administration heading into the winter, perhaps even bigger than the price of gas heading into midterms. It says, as Bloomberg's Javier Blas writes, and I quote, such low levels are alarming because diesel is the workhorse of the global economy. It powers trucks and vans, excavators, freight trains, and ships. A shortage would mean higher costs for everything from trucking to farming to construction. Now, let me break here. I don't want to read the whole story. I'm going to link it below for you guys, but I want people to realize what's going on here in the background. We have something that's very disturbing, and you've seen it with this current administration's policies when it comes to energy policies, where we were financially independent when it came to energy, right? We had an oil surplus. We were producing our own oil. It was pretty crazy how low oil prices were, right? And then crazy, the new administration takes over and all of a sudden, hey, we got this great idea. Let's stop using our oil that's cheap. Let's go buy it from other people. And we saw how that worked out, right? We're OPEC plus, Saudi Arabia fully walked away from their historic 50-year deal with us. And now they're selling oil much cheaper to other countries than us, and then they're raising our prices, and they're squeezing us. Quite frankly, they're going to cause a squeeze for us, and this current administration is letting it happen. Put a 1 down there if you voted for this and you're super pumped. Give me a 2 in the comment section if you're not happy about this. I'm curious what happens, in the comment section. Let's see who's happy about this and who's not. Matter of fact, there's a lot of people that at first voted for this kind of situation and then turn around now and at least are going, oh crap, what did I do? We're running headlong into a crash. And what people don't understand is just because you were born in a certain country doesn't mean you have an allegiance to a certain country anymore. There's this global regime that's trying to control literally the entire world. Now, the good news is it's breaking apart because literally that regime is going from China and Russia built a team against the US and Europe. And it's, all the countries against each other. They're trying to actually form 2 teams. But the sad thing is that the East seems to be winning because they're getting more and more countries onto their side. And it is absolutely blowing me away. Now, what do you do about this? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. If you need diesel, go get some diesel. Fill up your tank. This is very interesting times. I think that these are very serious times. These numbers don't lie. And to see that the last time this happened was between 2007 and 2008, it makes you wonder, and it makes you think. I remember 2008 was when to fill up my truck, it was less than it is now, but it was its highest point back then. And that is when people were giving away, losing or selling at rock bottom prices their gas guzzling SUVs, and things were getting intense. Shipping costs were expensive. I remember in 2008, there were surcharges on freight shipping. I was seeing that in my business all the time when I was ordering things that needed to be shipped in. There was a surcharge on it, fuel surcharge. And I think that you're going to see more and more pressure, like I said, going to this fall. We have things collapsing. We have Credit Suisse collapsing. Credit Suisse, we just had to extend a credit line all the way to Switzerland just because it's so bad. And it's going to get worse. And I think that it's stories like this that should be waking people up. And that's why every time you hit that thumbs up button, it helps get that algorithm juiced up and moving, because we need to share the truth. Because if we don't know the truth, we're not going to see the collapse smack us in the face and take our finances along with it. All right, guys, with that being said, I thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.